Hello and welcome to the HI European Market Neutral monthly video for the month of June 2022. June was clearly a very difficult month in markets. I think I've said that before quite a few times since we've been doing this video. Several indices were down 10, 15% even, and there's quite a lot of variance across Europe as well. So for the fund to have basically been flat on the month, I think is a good result. And there were quite a lot of swings and roundabouts in that mix, as you can imagine. In Europe, overall, the short book did very well, so generally shorts were good for us. The long book harder work, but some of our longs that stood out a little, like Rheinmetall in defence, did quite well for us. We had a good pair in Inditex Zalando, so Inditex, good long-term, high quality Spanish retailer, a lot of physical presence. Zalando, online retailer, that's a bit of a fallen star, but can still have a really big re-rating. You can pair Zalando to things like Boohoo and ASOS in the UK, which have been derated much more aggressively. So I think that's quite an interesting pair to play there as well. We've used the weak markets to cover some stocks. So we've covered AutoStore, which floated 18 months ago, very high multiple, been completely derated. AutoStore is a effectively capital goods, but sort of was floated as a software stock, so it's had a big derating. We've done well out of the short there. And SSB, which is the Swedish property stock that has a bit of a sort of whiff of the wrong and about it, I guess. Quite a strong bear case in that, which has played out for us, so we've covered. So done a bit of short covering, which has worked for us, and moved on. Selective in the longs, keeping some of our growthy longs like ASML and Iden. And hopefully that mix will serve us well again, but it's a pretty volatile market, as we all know. In the UK, probably slightly better performance overall. We've had probably a little bit more balance in the UK. Our whole short has been good, so you can't really single much out there. I think what you can say in the UK is we've got some really good longs. Doc Martens, the footwear manufacturer, which or another one that floated back in 21, or was it 20, and was a very popular stock when it floated. Exciting story, growth story, luxury brand, etc. And then got very heavily derated, but has actually performed reasonably well. Retail sales have been okay. Post-pandemic recovery has been pretty solid. A big re-rating in that one. Forward is basically quite a high-quality business, so that's been a good long for us. And we've had a couple of good longs in Challenger Banks, Paragon, and One Savings Bank. These are lowly valued businesses, and if they can play the interest rate margin and rising rates well, then they could be very good longer-term holdings for us as well. So pretty balanced book as usual. Trying to take the factor risk out. More difficult place in Europe, I'd say, than the UK. But overall, we're happy to be flat. Clearly, market conditions don't look like they're going to get much easier in the short term. But we are conscious that some valuations and some share price moves are pretty extreme out there at the moment. So we need to be very conscious of that, both in terms of short squeezes where stocks have simply got too cheap, but also thinking about some good long ideas where more situations like Dr. Martens. So overall, solid month. I'm going to have to keep working hard as ever through the summer. We hope you have a good summer, and we will report back again in a month's time. Thank you.